But if there is a favorite to finish in the top two, it would be 27-year-old Josh Davis, triple gold medalist from the 96 Olympics. Most golds, Rowdy, by any American man at those games.
You know, I have seen Josh Davis take a lot of races out very fast, but I've never seen Josh take it out that fast.
And he's still ahead of world record pace at the halfway mark. Davis looks like he's going to win it, and Davis sets an American record. He breaks a 12-year-old mark. What a swim for Davis.
Welcome to the Ultimate Swimmer Podcast. I'm your host, three-time Olympic gold medalist and captain of the 2000 USA team, Josh Davis. Here at Ultimate Swimmer, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you to be the very best version of you, physically, mentally, and spiritually, on your swimming journey. This podcast is geared primarily for those of us in the aquatic disciplines of age group swimming, college swimming, para swimming, open water swimming, and master swimming. But we welcome all who are interested in peak performance, pursuing excellence, and swimming with purpose. So whether you are just starting out in the pool or you've been swimming your entire life, you were born for the water, and you were also born for greatness. So each week we will explore the 7 core habits of achieving greatness that will help take you to the next level in your journey to becoming an ultimate swimmer. This episode is brought to you by Breakout Swim Clinics, the longest-running swim clinic tour of swimming Olympians in U.S. history. Breakout Swim Clinics has been providing swim clubs with the biggest Olympic names for the best prices with gold medal service since 1997. Go to breakoutswimclinic.com and bring some of their great Olympians to your team to help your swimmers break out. Bigger names, better prices, gold medal service. Break out with the best. breakoutswimclinic.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to another Ultimate Swimmer podcast show. I'm your host, Josh Davis. I'm with an awesome Ultimate Swimmer today. He is an Illinois state champion, a multi-time national champion in college for NC State, a multi-time national champion and here at the USA Swimming, and he's now a world record holder, multi-time world record holder, and a gold medalist from the last Olympics in Rio, a great race you got to watch sometime, the 4x100 free relay, one of our favorites, and just an all-around great guy. Great in school, great in the pool, great with friends, a true ultimate swimmer. Welcome to the show, Ryan Held. Welcome, Ryan.
Hey, thanks, Josh. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
So we both have some things in common. We both have a gold in the 400 free relay. We like the 100 free. You've done the 200 free before, which I love, and you have some great 50 frees. 18.6, is that your best? 18.5?
18.5, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's so fast. I've never gone that fast. But what we also have in common is we both love the pools in San Antonio.
Yep. I love San Antonio. I think the swimming scene here in San Antonio, I love the city in San Antonio. I always think it's been great. I love having meets here. I always swim phenomenal. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's the food. Maybe it's the pool. I don't know. Something about San Antonio, Texas.
Well, you guys had the big training camp at the big outdoor stadium pool in San Antonio for Rio. You guys were there for almost 2 weeks.
Yep.
And it was just awesome because you had 2 50-meter pools, the big diving well, so 3 huge pools just down the road from the hotel. It was a beautiful hotel y'all stayed at. And the hospitality was great. Weather was great. Y'all could swim outdoors. It was a perfect transition before you had to fly down to Rio. So did you enjoyed that camp?
Oh, I love that camp. Yeah, because while we were getting ready to swim in Rio, because Rio was, they wanted to be prime time for the United States. So we swam from 10 to midnight. So we started this long transition of getting ready to swim time. So there was plenty of times where we were finishing up we would swim like 6 to 8 p.m. In the night session, and so there was plenty of times where we were cooling down around like 7:50, 7:55, and the sun's setting, and you got this beautiful orange, red, purple sky, and you're just kind of doing double arm back, looking up. It was like just something like perfect movie scenery. Like you couldn't have asked for better swimming weather, and yeah, it's just. And I had a great 2015 U.S. Nationals in that same pool, so.
That's
yeah,
right.
It's something about the water in San Antonio here.
So now you're at the other good pool in San Antonio, the Davis Walker pool. They named one after me, and they named one after a great coach named Coach Bill Walker. So the Walkers got the long course pool, which y'all are racing at this week. You start racing tomorrow at the new Pro Swim.
Yeah, it's I'm really excited for that to start because I did not do ISL, so I didn't have much of that racing early in the fall. And the only race I really did was U.S. Nationals, and that was split up through 9 locations. And I was at the Huntsville location, which was one of the smaller ones. So, so just to give you how small it was, it was like an NCAA lineup. So the 50 free, 2 IM, and 400 freestyle were the only 3 events. They took it. That whole session took an hour for both boys and girls, and that included 2 20-minute breaks. So they did the 400 free, women, men, 20-minute break. IM, women, men, 20-minute break, 50 free, women, men. And it came out to be like 55 minutes or something. It was incredible how like fast it went. But it was also at the same time, Huntsville's really, because it's kind of a cool location. They also have 2 50-meter pools. And when you're warming up, you have a whole 50-meter lane to yourself of like, when is that ever going to happen ever in the swimming world again? Like having a whole 50-meter lane to yourself, like, and then there was maybe 1 or 2 other people for all the other lanes, and I was like, "This is great. This is awesome."
Yeah, well, no one's catching COVID at that one.
Yeah,
everyone's spread out.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's been a weird 10 months for all of us, and not racing in ISL, it turned out really good for a lot of folks who went. Those 6 weeks, but it was questionable whether to go or not. In hindsight, would you have changed it? Do you think you would have gone if you would have known it went well for a lot of those guys?
Yeah, I would. Part of me, looking back on, part of me is like, I think I could have gone, and it would have been, it probably would have been the exact same place right now, training wise.
Right.
But then the other part of me was like, no, you stayed here for a reason. You wanted to train here with Coley. I think, ultimately, I think I made the right decision. But I don't think it would have been, dramatic or career changing had I went to ISL. I mean, it sounded very safe. All the swimmers had a great time, and it could have worked out. So yeah, I think I could have gone, but I'm glad I stayed home.
Yeah. Well, I know you'll be glad to get back to racing this weekend at the San Antonio Pro Swim, and so it'll be good to see everybody, even though we have to kind of stay distant and not hang out too much.
Yeah,
see everybody.
Yeah, it is a little weird because when these Pro Swim series, this is like basically high school reunions, kind of. You get to see old friends, catch up a little bit from swim series to swim series, but now everyone's masked up. Everyone's kind of like trying to stay their own distance. So in like the warm down pool, which is usually like the social kind of hot spot, social kicking, catching up is very dead. Like, all right, get in, do your work, maybe say hi, wave, but don't sit around and talk, get out. So it's kind of a shame, but it is still nice just to be around your friends that you haven't seen for so long.
Oh, yeah, just to be in the same building, just to be at a meet, just to kind of see each other from afar is still a worthy endeavor.
Yep.
Boy, the world has sure changed in just 1 year.
Yeah.
But you got to make the best of it, and we got to get through this. So it's important to get some races in and see where everybody's at. Real quick, you mentioned training with Coley. Can you give us your insider's perspective on all the latest hoopla that was written up about Coley eventually transitioning? Give us your 1-minute synopsis of all that, and has any of that affected you?
No, so it's actually worked out pretty well. So Coley thrives in small group environments because he has way more creativity and just everything, like with just a smaller pro group, he can actually focus on more things. And he was kind of feeling stressed that he couldn't give everyone the equal amount of time. And like the other set maybe last Saturday was on the towers. So it was a 15 meter swim with the belt on. there's a rubber mat on the in the pool attached to the lane lines that you have to army crawl across and then dive in to swim to the 25 or the 20, and then release the belt, and then it was underwater kick for 5, and then rip it to the 35. This was long course.
Yeah,
and, you couldn't do that with 20 15 to 20 people in the group. It just take too long to turn it over and to reset everything. But with 4, what we have right now is 4. So it's like a perfect machine. It was I can go, someone comes in, I replace that person, the next person goes, and then you've probably only got about a few, maybe 2 minutes, which is pretty good, which is it's a little rest, but it's enough time to you're not totally recovered, but you're kind of still gassed because each effort has to be just maximal effort. And so it was he was just feeling a little stressed that he couldn't give everyone fair share of time and whatnot. And actually he's actually an assistant AD of the university now, so he's not shunned from the program. He's still the University of Alabama still wants high performance swimming and in representation because they want a good bright future for the program. But Coley, they was kind of just decided that Coley was more of the pro coach because that's what we kind of came here wanted to do. He wanted to start a pro group, and then just kind of the way it was.
Well, that's good news that you guys can get what you need.
Yeah, no, it's actually great. The Alabama athletic department's been really nice. We have full access to all the facilities and pretty much everything we were students, but just not actually on the swim team.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's good news. Did you guys have some autonomy and flexibility to do what you need to do? Wow, that's really interesting. Yeah, thanks for filling us in. Do you write down Coley's workouts? Because he's like a mad genius, and it's you.
So Wednesdays and Saturdays are really hard to write down, but Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays are a little bit more, I guess, more streamlined. But the Friday, one of the last Fridays we did was pretty brutal. So it was a 25 back end, which was back end of 100 speed. You want to go, pretty quick, 125 back end. And then it was a 50, 25 back end, pick up your kickboard, kick a 25. And then went into another 50 where it was a 25 or something. It was 12 and a half kick and then flip and do 12 and a half pull, fast arms going out. And then it went into a 25 where it was 4 kicks underwater, push off, flip off the bottom, 4 kicks underwater, and then 4 breakout strokes. And then it went to, I can't remember now because it was last Friday. There was some kind of 25 coming back, and then we ended with 100 fins and paddles, your goal 100 time.
Wow. And
it was pretty rough. We did that set about 4 times.
And you're done after that.
Yeah, it was brutal. But those are kind of the more in Tuesdays and Thursdays are threshold, and that's kind of your 100 free, your more typical 450s, 3100s, something that's a little bit more easier. But Wednesdays and Saturdays are last Saturday it was long course. It was a 50-meter back end, or it was 50 meter, but it was 25 or 35 with count and then no count. And then once you touch the wall, turn 90 degrees, push, because we're in the end lane. So push off, go short course, 3 underwaters to the 3rd lane line, kick against it for 3 seconds, go under that lane line, put the tower on, belt 15, come back, take the tower off, or take the belt off, go under 2 more lane lines, hop out, run dive, get in, run dive to 15 where there's another rubber mat, and then get on it, army crawl it, dive in again, finish out the 25. And that we did that 4 or 5 times, and that was pretty brutal. So that's how do you write that down? That's and for future reference. So yeah, it's almost like you just need to draw a picture. Like that's the main set. You can't
Figure
write this down.
with an obstacle course. That's what you need.
Yeah, you need like a little doodle to fully document it.
I love that though. I love that. I wish, more coaches were able to do that. More facilities had that flexibility. How many more kids would fall in love with swimming at summer league, high school, even college if we could do more stuff like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think, that would love to do that. Like, cause I know plenty of kids who growing up club swimming is like, oh man, you didn't do 10 twos? Oh, that's like a classic set. Like, no, ew. Like, no, that's terrible. Like, I would never want to do that. But yeah, doing these these 50 into a 15 into a 10 and a half into a 15. Yeah, that's a lot of fun, and it just keeps things interesting and fresh.
And it's still just as much pain in what you're doing. I mean, it's an acute, sharp, intense pain.
Yeah, after one of those like P-shaped sets, I was like on the lane line. A heart rate was like 160, 170, and then Cole was like, "All right, come on, get back to the wall. Like we're doing it again." I was like, "No, it's too tough." But but then once like you kind of get back to the wall, you're like, "All right, whatever. I'm only getting, this is only helping me. It's not hindering or hurting me. So might as well give it my all. Let's just go for it."
Well, and you had a lot of confidence from the summer of 2019. Just a few months into his program, you threw down your lifetime best.
Yeah,
500 free times in the world. Maybe you can give everybody just a quick synopsis of 2016, August 2016 to August 2019, because it was kind of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And but you learned a lot from it.
August 2016. I transformed from a regular sophomore at North Carolina State to this kind of rock star in the swimming world overnight. I was having, autographs, talks, whatever. And a lot of that definitely went to my head because that whole junior season, I had the mentality of like, I'm Ryan Held, who's going to take the title from me? I'm America's sweetheart, everyone loves me, whatever. Like if I had a bad practice, it's fine. Don't worry, it's whatever. And then 2017, it obviously showed, kind of reared its ugly head because I, didn't make the world's team. I was, barely made the World University Games team. And that's the reality checked. It was like, okay, Ryan, you swim for the United States of America. You got to be on your A game every single season. Every you got to have a good fall to have a good winter to have a good spring, good spring to have a good summer. There's no there's no like pick and choosing when you want to start going in and all that other stuff. So then 2017, I was like, okay, I really need, get my act back together, get more focused. And then 2018, had a great NCAAs. I was on track to do really, really well. And going into the summer of 2018, I had a little throat issue, but I was like, you know what? Give it like a day or two. It'll be gone. And then a few days later, it's still kind of nagging me. I mean, I must have just burnt my mouth on something. It's fine. And then a few days later, it was now painful to swallow. And then I was like, okay, you know what? This is kind of bad. And I had some kind of throat infection and where I couldn't eat food. I couldn't swallow or anything. So I lost 5 pounds. And then 3 weeks before US Open in LA, or Irvine, I mean. And then when I finally got recovered, got the medicine, and tried to put back the work for taper, it was just a little. I was good, but I wasn't, where I should have been. I should have been light years ahead of, But I swam well, and then it was 2018. I was like, I've had 2 bad summers in a row, kind of down on myself. But then I luckily got invited to Short Course Worlds in China. And should I go? I really haven't been training that much. Okay, yeah, sure, I'll go. And I'm so glad I went, because that was like kind of really like the mojo, boost I needed, because I swam really well there. It was short course meters. It was just like college. I love short course. And so then after that, I was like, all right, yeah, like this was great. Like I've got my kind of swagger back. But then so I love North Carolina State, but it was just like I'd been there for so long. I'd start outsmarting my coaches. So I knew where I could, give 85, 90, 80% instead of 100%, and the coaches would never know. Or I knew where I could slack off. And then because I was slacking off, I wasn't swimming as well. And then I wasn't swimming as well. I didn't want to practice as much. And it was just kind of this negative feedback loop. And I knew I had to go and find someplace new, different set of eyes, different coaches, different training partner, and did a little studying, visited some few pro teams, college teams, and I ultimately decided to end up with Coley. And yeah, so I showed up there on Valentine's Day, and from mid February to I guess July, it was how much time I had with them, and it was like learning a new language, trying to learn Coley's system. Yeah. But it worked out, and yeah, I had one of the best performances in Palo Alto, California in 2019.
Yeah, you in the field you were with is pretty impressive. Blake, Nathan, a lot of the big Texas guys.
The 100 free field in the United States right now is absolutely ridiculous. It was like 7 guys have been 47, and not one of them is named Nathan Adrian. Like, what? This is crazy.
Remind us what your exact time was that night.
It's in like, I think I was like 47.39 or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was 47.4. I can't. It was one of the something.
But that's so
47.3 or 47.4.
Well, so that you obviously knew something was working right, and you're going to stick it out, for 2020, and now we get another year to train, 2021. So you come off that roller coaster of 16 to 19, and that's got to be encouraging to people out there that 2 years of some ups and downs, and then you got an up in 19. Now we got a reschedule, so it's almost another 2 years from August 2019 to July of 2021. Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of a weird up and down deal.
I am pretty glad that it got rescheduled, because I was starting to have this like feelings of in 2020 of like kind of just putting all this pressure on myself, like, I swam so fast last year, like have to make the team, I have to do this, like, right. And I was just getting too grindy on myself, like too over analytical and whatnot. And when quarantine and swimming was taken away from me for like 3 months, coming back to it, like there's been maybe like a month ago, I had a practice where Coley was mad at the team because we messed up and we added an extra round, and then like we messed up that round, so then he added another round, so we actually did like 6 rounds of the main set. And I was thinking like, last year I would have been so just angry and like, whatever, I'm a pro, I don't need this, like get out of here, I don't want to do this. But now, like, and then this year thinking, it's like, man, why am I so mad? Why would I be so mad? Like, this is my job. This is my passion. Like, I love swimming, and what's, these 2 rounds, they're not going to kill me. They're going to hurt, but the sun's going to rise tomorrow. I might as well just enjoy it. Have a good positive attitude. And I've honestly been having that kind of mindset this whole time since quarantine. I'm like, I'm never going to complain about a hard set ever again, because I know what it's like to not have swimming, being able to swim and have that mental and physical just kind of relief. So I've actually really, my mentality this season has been way better than it was in 2020.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, it really makes you appreciate just having a pool, having a coach, having a workout, having a shot. It kind of wipes the slate clean. It's like, who cares about all this pressure that was there before? you're just glad to be alive and be healthy and have another shot, so it's a nice clean slate mentally to give it a good run. So I love that. Hopefully the swimmers out there listening can do that. This Corona break has brought a lot of clarity to people. Like, yeah,
it has. Yeah.
I really appreciate this opportunity.
I wanted to take a moment from this fascinating interview to let you know about a new partner for the Ultimate Swimmer podcast, and that is SwimShare. SwimShare is a free workout writing tool. Just Google SwimShare, all one word, SwimShare. And you can put in today's workout in just a few clicks, and it sends and stores all your workouts within seconds. The first workout you'll see on there is one of my favorites from yours truly. Check out SwimShare and take your workouts to the next level. Send, store, and share your swimming masterpieces with SwimShare.
Well, I'm just so intrigued. You had some great high school epic moments, and you had some epic moments in college. And, I know you learned a lot from Coach Braden, one of the best in the world. So maybe you could just summarize some of the things that you learned in high school and college that you take with you now as a pro, and, something that Braden taught you or you learned from the team. Because you guys had, there were some no-namers. I mean, you were a no-namer at NC State.
Yeah.
You guys were all you're on the map now, and then you had these relays come out of nowhere and beat Texas, and it's like, I just love that. So, what are some of the things that you learned that you appreciated from Braden and the team at NC State?
Yeah, well, man, Braden had so many just nuggets of wisdom throughout my 4 years there, and what Braden always preached was, control the uncontrollables. You can't control how everyone else trains, how they're going to swim, but you can control yourself. You can control your mentality, your attitude. And that happened a lot because, like a great example, in the 200 freestyle relay at NCAA's in Minnesota, where Caleb went 17 and I was like 18.5 or something, I could have been like, oh, heck, well, I'm not going to win, I'm just going to be pouty and stuff. He's getting all the fame and glory, but it didn't really bother me. He swam for Florida, his other team. Like, I didn't care about that. I wanted NC State to be, the highest place position that I could be. So if that meant going out and giving it my all again in the 50 and knowing I'm probably going to get second, doesn't matter. I'm going to do that to get the most points for NC State. And Braden also. Braden, I think, was one of the best coaches at creating a sense of culture in a family. Yeah. And I know a lot of places done it, but having been at multiple different colleges now and just friends going through different college programs, I think Braden really, really did an excellent job of creating the sense of family and team and the team chemistry. And I think he has some of the best team building programs and plans that he does subtly. So it's not like it, but in looking back on it, Braden was very good at planting these organic activities that just kind of just made team chemistry really well, really, fit together. That was, that's one of the best things about Braden. And then Todd and Bobby and all those guys, they all had nuggets of wisdom. Todd was just have you ever met Todd, Josh?
I haven't met him, and I want to interview him, and I want to get to know him because he's an amazing guy in his own right, and now leading Virginia. It's awesome.
Yeah, Todd was very, just go out and do it. You're a hungry swimmer. You're an underdog. No one cares about you or doing anything. He's like, but what's really fun? Upsetting the throne and taking the throne from these guys. So it was go out and do it. Who cares? You got nothing to lose. Yeah. And Bobby was really great. Bobby was probably, out of all the coaches I met, Team USA, everything, Bobby Ventura was probably the best coach about having mental health and swimming relationships. And so, because Bobby on Saturday morning, after Saturday morning practice, Bobby would be like, all right, turn up. Yeah, I want you to block swim, block NC State swimming. want you to like a post. I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to follow like Swimming World or anything. It's like for the weekend, because I want you to just relax, be a college kid. Yeah. You know, he's like, go grab like wings and a pizza at a like sports bar and watch the CBS primetime game. You know, just be fun. Don't talk about swimming. And Bobby did a phenomenal job about that. He really was on it about having positive mental health and with swimming.
I love that. And that's one of the cornerstones of an ultimate swimmer, where, you know, you take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you know, because it's all tied together. If you're going to be at your full expression physically, you got to be healthy mentally and emotionally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I love that. You know, one of the concepts we talk about is, you know, when you serve others, that creates low stress or a happy heart, which creates fast swimming. And so when you learn to enjoy others, you learn to enjoy your environment. And it's not just about you and about swimming and the grind. It's you open yourself up to the full college experience, and you can learn something from everybody you meet every day.
Oh, yeah. And that is so true. You can learn something from someone, and it could be life changing. And they're like, oh, that's so genius, but so simple. Why did I never think about that? Or just like I've had many swimmers who have just been very wise beyond their years, and have just really gotten me to ponder things about the swimming world. And like, you know, that's an excellent point. Like, that's so true. I've never thought about that. And one of those guys is Colin Jones. When he swam at NC State, he like took a few the older college guys who had a chance of going pro under his wing, and it was like, oh man, this is like what he is saying is absolutely golden. Like, I've never even thought about these situations before, but you know, like listen to listen to every word he says.
That's cool. Hey, he's got some good stories. He's been around.
Yeah, I love hanging out with Colin. He's so much fun.
What outside of swimming, what's some of your favorite things about NC State and the college experience?
Oh man, NC State, I love the brick. I think that brick architecture style is so pretty. It definitely grew on me, because when I first got there, I was like, all right, you know, it's brick. It kind of looks like any other old building. Yeah. But then as I was growing there and then spent the 4.5-5 years there, it really grew on me of like how pretty it was, especially when it rained and everything's kind of glossy, and it's a really cool mix of green spaces and the campus and the brick, and it's beautiful. I loved my major. My major was fisheries, wildlife management, conservation biology, and I loved the people in my major. They were so much fun, and my advisors were absolutely great. And one of one of the professors I had for wildlife management classes, he played soccer for Western Michigan University, and he was like, so we had tons of just, you know, student athlete stories, and you know, what should I do this? Should I put swimming first? This was post graduation. Yeah, right. Like, put swimming first. Should I like do this? What should you think I should do? And he just had I've ever been to. And like, because it's a young, thriving, it's Silicon Valley-esque, a lot of tech, but it's, you know, it's not huge. It's definitely manageable. The food there was unbelievable. And it was a big city, a nice airport, but it wasn't like a mega city like Phoenix or like Boston, LA, Chicago, New York, or that. It was just a perfect city. And I miss Raleigh so much. I want to go back so bad. That's
cool. Well, gosh, just 6-7 months left in Tuscaloosa. Yeah. And I'm glad things are going well there. I swam in a dual meet there back in 94. And they had this at the end of this road out in the country. They had this sign that says, Dreamland Barbecue, 2 more miles. And then you kept driving down this road, and it says Dreamland Barbecue, 1 more mile. and you just keep driving. Dreamland Barbecue, half mile, and then you kind of dead end into this middle of the forest, and there's this huge shack. And it says Dreamland Barbecue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. But Dreamland is so good. Oh, it's unbelievable. Some of the best ribs I've ever had in my life. The original location is in Northport, which is like the sister city of Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
And it's like when you go in there, there's definitely like gray areas of health code standards. They're like slicing the ribs and like flipping whatever on like the oven and smoker. And there's no like really clear distinction between sitting area and cooking area. But oh man, the ribs are so good and their sauce is unbelievable. And Alabama has a signature sauce called like Alabama white sauce. Yeah. Which is kind of spicy. It's a little mayo-y, but oh man, it is so good.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a fun Alabama experience that I remember.
Yeah. Well, Dreamland is worth it. It's so good.
We're driving down that scary country road for it. So I'm curious, what do you think you're going to do after Tokyo? Where do you think you'll be? Do you think you'll keep swimming?
Yeah, so I really want to do ISL season 3.
Right.
I think if ISL season 3 can happen, I think this would be the most successful one because just kind of ripplings through the swimming world crowds is that they're going to do a camp again. They're going to split the season to like 2 or 3 camps. Right. It was just more efficient, easier, way more cost effective to have just fly everyone in for once, have a hotel for like 4 weeks, and like knock out 4 meets right there. So they are going to have 2 or 3 camps, and they're going to do like a draft system. Apparently, the rumor is like each team gets to keep a certain amount of swimmers, and then everyone else gets to enter in like the draft pool, which is really fun because it'll definitely even up the teams. Yeah, because there was definitely a large margin between the top of the top versus the bottom team of the ISL. So I want to do that. I plan on finishing. So I actually got my diploma for my graduate certificate in geospatial sciences, and currently getting my master's now from North Carolina State. And fingers crossed, my girlfriend is hopefully getting a job in San Francisco. So I'll start looking for geospatial jobs in the Bay Area.
Wow.
So that would be post 2020 sometime.
Wow. Would you train with Berkeley or Stanford on the side, or would you go straight into normal civilian life?
I don't know if I could. I don't know. Maybe not Stanford, but I don't know. I've heard rumors that like you can only train with Cal if you went there. Oh, okay. I don't think they allow outside postgrads. Oh, okay. So I'm not sure what I'd do. Maybe join like the San Fran Masters or like the O Club. Yeah. But I don't know. I gotta decide. No, I'll probably still be seriously swim. I don't know. That's a later decision.
I know. And it'll become clear with ISL each year, of what your compensation looks like and what your pool and training situation looks like. So, but anyway, I was just curious because I love watching you swim. I think there's a lot more in the tank for you, and I love your contribution to Team USA in the freestyle and in the relays. And you bring such a positive light to the team, and obviously super fast in the pool. And you're just a true ultimate swimmer, and we just wish you all the best these next few months going into the trials.
Thank you. Thanks, Josh.
So, and have a great time in San Antonio and enjoy the great Mexican food there.
I went to Rosario's or Rosalitos or something.
That's right.
And the South District. Oh man, and I had their lunch special. Oh, it was so good. It was like enchilada, green chicken enchiladas with corn tortillas. Oh, it was so good.
It's good, and it's healthy. It's kind of healthy.
No, it definitely is. It definitely is.
I love that. I know. Well, next time I'm going to San Antonio with you. When it's all clear.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to get some Tex-Mex, some barbecue. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing and giving us the update. And we'll see you around the pool soon. Thanks, buddy.
Yep. See you.
All right. That's it.
Cool. Thank you.
So my assistant coach, Noah, he edits it and makes it all clean and clear. And
okay.
If it posts tonight, maybe you could Instagram tag it or whatever, share it or something.
All right.
So, but get some rest and have fun tomorrow. We'll be cheering you.
Thank you.
I appreciate
it's
your time.
weird now. What?
Oh, go ahead.
It's weird now that it's like, oh yeah, now we have 3 days of competition. We've only been here for 3 days of like absolutely nothing, and now it's like, oh man, my time here is almost done. Like, it's wild how quick it's going, or how slow the first few days go.
I know you got to have some books on tape or something.
I know. I have the Tuscaloosa Public Library, some audiobooks. Listening to The Power of Habit by something Newhig.
Yep, I have that.
Really, really, really.
Did you do Atomic Habits?
No, this is called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg.
Right, I have that one too, but my favorite one is Atomic Habits. So if you get a free credit, try Atomic Habits.
Okay.
It's really
Who's
good.
it by?
James Clear.
Okay.
It's my favorite habit process one. I love it. I love it.
Well, I'll have to check it out and read it.
Yeah. Well, what's your favorite dryland movement?
Dryland movement is probably. I like the jumps. I like the broad jumps, plyometric jumps. Well, we also do. It's not my favorite, but it kicks your butt is a salt bike, a fan bike.
Yeah, wow.
We have some of those, and those kick your butt.
Yeah, you feel the burn on those a bit.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a favorite go-to drill for freestyle you do in warm-up or in practice or whatever?
Yeah, I like doing tap. So it's okay. So it's called tap. So you're coming up over recovery. You tap like kind of once by your ear, once a little bit halfway, and then you finish up tapping and like going through the rest of the stroke. And it's just kind of keeping your arm in line, having a good, bringing that elbow high up instead of swinging it around like I have a habit of doing.
That's good. So double tap.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Yeah, I do one called 3-touch switch. So you touch the armpit, and then you go back to the side, then you touch the head.
Oh yeah. It's pretty
You
simple.
go back to the side, then you touch the water, and you go back to the back, and then you switch.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I like that one. Well, awesome. Hey, have a great rest of the day, and I'll keep up with you and talk to you next time.
All right. Sounds perfect, Josh. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. See ya.
I want to take a moment to tell you about my favorite swim cap, the Hammerhead Swim Cap. It's the safest, fastest, longest-lasting, most comfortable swim cap in the world. Its one-of-a-kind patented honeycomb shock-absorbing technology will prevent concussions. And the Hammerhead cap has no wrinkles to ensure top speed with the least resistance. And it's super comfortable. That's easy to get on and easy to get off, and it will never tear. This is the last cap you will ever need to buy. Safety and speed, all at hammerheadswimcaps.com.
Thank you for joining us on this Ultimate Swimmer podcast.
We hope you enjoyed hearing from these Olympians and life champions and how certain habits and decisions help them on their journey, and they can help you too. If there is an ultimate swimmer from your team that you would like to nominate that we can recognize on our show, just email me at josh@joshdavis.com. That's josh@joshdavis.com. And tell us about how your ultimate swimmer is making a difference in your swimming community. And that's the goal, to make a difference and swim with purpose. Not only are you getting better, but you're helping those around you get better too. When you realize you were born for the water, born for greatness, and born to serve others, you are on your way to becoming an ultimate swimmer. I'm Josh Davis. Until next time, keep streamlining and keep smiling. See you around the pool soon.